Loud clangs and screeches eventually faded into a melodic tune as the train bellowed on, mile after mile. It was a long-haul trip that started in one place and ended in another very far away, only to return via a third or fourth route weeks or months later. As the distance wore on, the look of its passengers changed to reflect the area's ethnicity and language. The smells changed, but always the train was a familiar place. In a way, the train never changed, and yet in another way, it was hard to recognize. New foods were added at the stops, and some others faded away, until nothing was left. Even the memory of those dishes faded as the passengers churned in and out of the cabins, each going to their own story of purpose and desire. Through the train ride, one man was a constant. Moshe remained mostly in his room, leaving only briefly to purchase items at the ports of call on this long journey. He never ate with the other passengers, but was on a first-name basis with the train's staff. Quickly, he learned the names of new employees, remembered details of their personal lives, and inquired as to updates when mail was received. Perhaps passerbys saw his cabin as full of people, so they never bothered him. But in truth, he was there alone. A quiet, slim man, dressed for the wear of the season, but always in pants, a shirt and something of a vest, as appropriate for his activities. Moshe sat and looked out the window for a long time. His stomach turned in hunger, but he rarely ate. Sometimes he looked at food, wondered at its appeal, and instead enjoyed the consciousness of hunger, but not the appetite of consumption. Usually he would stand or gently pace in his small but private cabin. At times he would stare out the window, and his lips would gently move as if talking to an unseen audience. Other times he stood still with eyes closed, reviewing the techniques of various martial arts. And yet other moments would have him clearing space and practicing those same movements and techniques. Now, though it was time for rest and sleep, tomorrow he expected to arrive in a new city, and he would have precious few hours for his time there, away from this moving microcosm of humanity.